Hi everyone, in this video I will be giving a summary of chapter 6 to 8 of Jesus and the God of Israel, whereby I will explain the concept and offer my reflections, critical comment about this reading. Chapter 6 pretty much talked about how Markham turns his attention to Paul Apostle, arguing that Paul's high Christology is not a departure from Jewish modalism, rather it is fulfillment. He asserted that Paul consistently presents Jesus as fully included in the unique divine identity of Yahweh, which is rooted in creator lordship. Some of the passages are Romans 10:13, where Paul cites passages originally applied to Yahweh, especially in relationship to creation and final judgment. Romans 10:13 says, "For everyone who calls on the name of the Lord shall be saved." Another passage Berkham emphasized on is Philippians 2:6-7, Deuteronomy 6:4-8, 1 Corinthians 8:6. This all applies that Jesus is the eschatological Yahweh revealed to the world. According to Berkham, Paul overarching modem formulate Jesus as both creator and future judge, an attribute unique to God. Jesus is the one through whom all things exist and through whom all will bow. That will be found in Philippians 2. Chapter 7, the divinity of Jesus in the letter of Hebrews. Berkham explored the Christology embedded in the letter of the Hebrews, demonstrating that the author presents Jesus as fully divine, but also as a perfect high priest, a role that bridges his divinity with his humanity. The Hebrews 1-2 cannot talk about the angelic contracts. Berkham underscored the argument through this chapter, showing Jesus is exalted far above angels, unlike angelic intermediaries. We also talked about Hebrews 13:8. Hebrews concluded by stating Jesus is the same yesterday, today, and forever. Amen. Chapter 8. In this final chapter, Berkham turns the crucifixion narrative in the book of Mark 15:34. He demonstrated that Jesus' anguish cried, my God, why have you forsaken me?" This statement is a profound theological moment that reveals divine identity through suffering. Berkham concluded his work by showing that the passion narrative in Mark is central to his thesis that Jesus is integral to the divine identity. Jesus isn't abandoned by God, but instead, through his cross, revealed the heart of God, a God who enters the depth of human suffering and forsakenness. The art of redemptive solidarity does not separate Jesus from divinity, from divine identity, but confirms and manifests it. Jesus on the cross is both fully divinely and fully human, embodying God's self-revealing love in the most profound moment of human history. I personally don't believe that Jesus was truly abandoned by God the Father at the crucifixion. Why Jesus cried on the cross, my God, why have you forsaken me?" in the book of Mark 34 seems to express an abandonment. Berkham explained that this moment is best understood through the lens of Psalm 22, which begins with a lament but ends in a true and vindication. Jesus was identified with the full weight of human suffering, but this was not a break in his divine relationship.